Hey, happy Wednesday. I'm Emmanuel, and this is my first year on testosterone. So this week's suggested topic is sort of what our expectations are for testosterone, what we're looking forward to, what we're worried about, and the best part about making this video today is that I actually got my prescription for testosterone today. Today is December 12th for me. I'm recording it on the 12th, posting it on the 13th, but this morning I had my endocrinologist appointment. I went into the appointment fully expecting to be told that I needed to do blood work after the appointment before I could start testosterone or even get my prescription, but it turned out that the blood work that I had done last year when I came out to my doctor was fine. It was good enough, and she just wrote my prescription right there, which was super exciting because I thought I wouldn't be able to start until the end of the week, but I can start tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm going to go more into detail about what kind of testosterone I'm going to be taking in next week's video, because that's the topic for next week, is what kind of testosterone we're taking and why. So I'll go into detail on that next week, but I keep looking down because I have it next to me. I love it so much. I'm so excited. But yeah, so this week I'll just talk about my expectations and what I'm looking forward to because I get to start tomorrow. Oh my god. So yeah, probably the thing that I'm most looking forward to on testosterone is how it'll affect my monthly cycle and eventually stop it. I get a lot of dysphoria and discomfort from that. I get really bad cramps, and I just always feel really disgusting during that week from hell. So I'm really looking forward to that not happening anymore and not being something that I have to worry about. I'm hoping that it stops happening as soon as possible. I know it won't be gone by the next time because without giving you too much information, there's not enough time for the testosterone to do anything for me in that amount of time. But I'm hoping it'll even just noticeably affect the pain level and reduce that. That would be really nice. Another thing I'm looking forward to is lowering of my voice, because I'm super aware of how high my voice is, and it's especially painful when I'm talking on the phone with people at work and then they just call me ma'am all the time, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna come out to you, but call me again in 3 months and you won't be calling me ma'am. So that is really exciting. Facial hair, I don't really care about either way. When I was a kid, I always wanted facial hair, but now I'm just kind of whatever. It seems kind of like a chore to deal with, but I obviously wouldn't mind it, so I'm kind of neutral on facial hair. As far as fat redistribution goes, that's one that I'm also looking forward to. I'm pretty short, and that means that my hips are quite wide, and a lot of the fat on my body sits kind of in my butt, my hips, and my thighs. So I'm looking forward to that not being a thing anymore, and just sort of widening my shoulders, because I'm short, I already struggle to find men's clothing that fits me, and when it does fit me in length, it's usually too small at my hips. I have a couple of button-up shirts that go, they fit me in the shoulders because I have small shoulders, and usually it's a size small or extra small in men's. But then I start buttoning it, everything's good, and then I get to my hips, and the buttons just won't do up because my hips are so much wider than my shoulders. So I'm hoping that squaring out a little bit is gonna help me find clothing that fits me better. And being able to buy men's pants would be nice, but again, I'm really short, I'm only 5'1", so pants that are short enough for me are really hard to find, and all the pants that I have that are men's pants, I have to roll them up because they're just too long. Again, my hips are so wide that I can't find pants that fit my hips and are short enough for me. So that's going to continue to be a problem, but at least it'll look more cohesive when you look at me. I know that testosterone doesn't really affect your bone structure very much, but I'm kind of hoping that with the fat redistribution and the change of muscle mass, that it'll sort of affect the roundness of my face. I'm hoping that it'll square out a little bit more, and I'm trying not to have my hopes up too high for that because I know that it's not going to change a whole lot, but it'll be interesting to see even if it changes. I'm sure I'll be able to see the difference if I compare it. So that's exciting. One thing that I'm not sure about and that I'm going to be interested to see is that testosterone naturally increases your libido, but I'm asexual, so I don't even know if it's going to do anything for me, but I'm interested to find out if it increases the sex drive that I don't have. So if it gives me a libido, even just a tiny one, that'll be more than what I have now, so I'm interested to see how that affects me. Also, mood changes I'm not too worried about, just because I'm a really laid back person to begin with. I'm not quick to get angry or aggressive anyways, so those changes are hopefully not going to be too noticeable for me. And yep. I'm just gonna look at the list and see what it is I need to do. Another thing with the fat redistribution is the size of my chest is gonna change a little bit. Not because the tissue is changing, because without surgery, the amount of tissue in your chest remains the same, but actually the fat that's stored in my chest is gonna shift elsewhere, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm curious to see how much it actually changes. And that's kind of why they recommend you wait until you've been on testosterone before you get top surgery, which is something that I desperately want but cannot afford right now. And that's because when you go in for a consultation and you haven't been on testosterone, the structure of your chest post-surgery is going to depend on the structure of your chest before the surgery. And if you're looking at your chest before and after being on testosterone for a while, that's going to be different. And so it can affect the outcome, although I've read that for people that are my size, kind of small, not a very large chest, it doesn't make a huge difference. Although I think that my situation is enough that I should go on testosterone at least for like a few months before I go in for a consultation. And speaking of top surgery, that's something that I, like I said, desperately want, can't afford. I don't trust the surgeons in my province. Not that they're bad, but I can't seem to find one that I feel will suit my situation. Not that I have like a special situation, just that I want to trust my surgeon and I want the best for myself. And because I'm in a situation where I can afford to save up my money and pay for surgery elsewhere, I've looked into surgeons across Canada, and I've looked into surgeons in the US, and I'm hoping to go to a surgeon that's based in Seattle. So I'd have to drive there. It's about a 2-day drive from where I am to get to Seattle. So it's doable, but it's not anywhere in the near future because the surgery costs are like close to $8,000 US at this point, which Canadian is overall going to cost me, with traveling and everything, probably close to $12,000 Canadian. I don't have that kind of money, and my insurance isn't going to cover it if I leave the province. So there's no way that I can do that in the next few years. I mean, maybe, but I haven't started saving up because I have other things to pay for right now. And I haven't started a Kickstarter campaign just because I haven't done that yet, and that I might, but for now I haven't, so I'm just kind of waiting. And hopefully someday I can get top surgery. As far as bottom surgery goes, I don't really have any plans for that. I don't feel any bottom dysphoria. So for me, bottom surgery is not on my list of priorities. It's not even on my list of potential surgeries because I just don't care at all for it. Like I don't feel the need for it, not nearly as much as I feel the need for top surgery, because top surgery, it's like I cannot even get undressed some days without like getting undressed like under a blanket and then not having a shirt off. Like I'll change my shirt with my other shirt over top of it still. I don't know if that makes sense, but like that's how bad my top dysphoria is. But my bottom dysphoria, I'm just like, doesn't exist. I don't have any bottom dysphoria. So for me, an invasive surgery like bottom surgery is just not even, I don't even see that ever happening for myself, just because I don't find it necessary for myself. And for hysterectomy, same thing. I don't see it being necessary. That's something I talked about with my endocrinologist as well this morning. We talked about possibilities of fertility, whatever, having kids. I don't see myself being able mentally, because of dysphoria, to deal with biologically carrying my child. So I don't need to keep my uterus, but I'm going to because it's there. Like, I don't feel like going through an incredibly difficult surgery just because. So that's something to keep an eye on, because the risks for cancer haven't been proved either way enough right now, so I'm definitely just gonna keep going to the doctor and making sure everything's still healthy and good to go, so that I don't end up regretting not getting a hysterectomy. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty much gonna be okay. I kind of want to talk about my endocrinologist appointment as well, for those of you who might have to go through an endocrinologist in order to start testosterone, just to give you an idea of what it was like for me. The way that it works in Alberta is I had to go see my family doctor, then my family doctor referred me to the gender psychiatrist, and there's only one in Alberta, and then the gender psychiatrist, after 3 appointments that were spread over like 5 or 6 months, then the gender psychiatrist referred me to the endocrinologist, and then I waited a few more months for an appointment with the endocrinologist, and that's what I had this morning. And basically I went in there, and within a few minutes there was a nurse or doctor, probably a nurse, who took my blood pressure. And then I waited a little bit longer, and probably like 10 minutes after that I saw the endocrinologist, and she took me into her office, and basically she checked my pulse and something else. She used the little stethoscope. Oh, she felt my thyroid glands as well. And then she basically walked me through the different options that I had for testosterone, as well as what the effects are and what the risks are. And she talked about the different choices that I have in terms of, gel or injections and stuff like that. And then she also checked if I had past history of blood tests. She took a full family history to see if I was genetically at any risk for heart diseases or liver diseases or pancreas stuff or cancers, etc., as one does. And then basically she just wrote my prescription right then and there. What I would recommend is, if you have to see an endocrinologist and you have a family doctor, I would recommend talking to your family doctor about getting the blood work done ahead of time, because that is what allowed me to get my prescription right then and there. And it's a lot of blood work, and I had, for the ones that I did, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but you have to fast for 12 hours leading up to it. So it's good to just like either come prepared to your endocrinologist appointment and have already fasted, so that you can just go get your blood work as soon as you leave there and get your prescription sooner, or get the blood work done ahead of time, talk to your doctor, they might be able to set you up. And you can, that way, when you go to the endocrinologist, be like, oh, actually, I did have my blood work done, here's the results, and then you're good to go. So that worked in my favor. I wasn't expecting it to, because I had that blood work done almost a full year ago. It was in January 2017, and now it's December. But she was like, no, there wasn't anything to worry about then, so I'm pretty sure you're fine. So that was really nice. I think that was it. I wasn't in there very long. I would say maybe 15-20 minutes, and it was basically, yeah, she just got a history, and then talked to me about risks and asked me what my preferred method of administering testosterone would be. After having talked about my concerns, I definitely asked some questions, because I wasn't sure what would be the best method for me. In the past, my body's been sensitive to hormones. When I was taking birth control for cramps, it was like a nightmare, and I was worried that that would happen with testosterone, and she was like, basically, they're too different to be able to compare the side effects, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But she reassured me. She was so good, she was amazing. She gave me her business card, and she's like, if there's anything wrong, you just call me, and like, I went with a more expensive way of administering the testosterone, and she's like, if you get there and I gave you the price and it was way off and you can't afford it, just give me a call and I'll rewrite the prescription so that it's for a different method. And I was like, bless this angel sent from above, because my experience with the psychiatrist and my experience with my family doctor were both kind of like, My family doctor was okay, the psychiatrist was horrible. I had a horrible experience with the psychiatrist, so I was looking forward, I was not looking forward to this appointment because I was worried that it was going to go terribly wrong. But no, this endocrinologist is perfect, and I hope that anyone who has to deal with endocrinology in my province gets to see her, because she definitely knows what she's doing and she cares, and she's not transphobic, which is a miracle. I think that's all I have to cover for this video. Next week I will be talking about what kind of testosterone I'm taking and roughly how much it costs and kind of like how my first week on it went, because at that point I will have been on T for 1 week. So this is really exciting because my upload day is Wednesday, and it just so happens that my T anniversary is also on Wednesday. So I'm real excited about that. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm so excited to share this little adventure with the internet. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you next Wednesday.